guys, I can't even lift this. This is so heavy, but hi! It's Alexa from Alexa Loves Books, and I'm here to show you this kind of massive haul for January. Let's just get this show on the road because there's a lot I have to show you. We should just get through this. Beautiful and the Cursed by Paige Morgan. I got this book as a gift from my friend Jamie from Fiction Fair, and I am really excited to finally have a copy of this one. It is a book about gargoyles, basically. That's pretty much like the main thing I know about it. I believe it's about a girl, her family has to move to Paris from London, and she is trying to figure out what happened to her twin brother, who seems to have disappeared, and I believe the gargoyles have something to do with that. Funnily enough, this next one, I actually have two copies. One is a copy that I borrowed from my friend Lily of Lily's Reflections, and the other one came in the mail. I wasn't expecting it, but it came in the mail, which I'm really excited about. And the book is Rebel of the Sands by Alwyn Hamilton. This cover is gorgeous. This cover is also gorgeous. It's basically about a girl named Amani, and she is either going to be killed or be married off. When a stranger comes into town, she decides that he's her way out, only to find out that they are going to be on the run because he is wanted. I know Lily really enjoyed it. I know a lot of other people have really enjoyed it, and I myself am very intrigued by these summaries, so can't wait to check it out for myself. Another book from Lily. I have seen her mentioned a few times in the blogging community and the vlogging community, but I wasn't sure I wanted to read it, but she really thinks I'm going to like it. So she lent me Wink Poppy Midnight by April Genevieve Tucholk. I have never read a book by this author, but this one is about three characters who fit into particular stereotypes, and they basically tell the story of these three characters and how their lives are going to play out. This is also a book I borrowed from Lily. Ooh, these are actually organized well. And it is a book I'm quite excited to read. It is The Dark Days Club by Alison Goodman. This one is set in 1800s in London. It's about a girl named Lady Helen who discovers that there's more to what meets the eye when it comes to London society. Apparently there are demons lurking around, and there are people who have made it their job to hunt these creatures down and make sure to get rid of them so people stay safe. I'm very excited to read something new from Alison Goodman. I've been waiting a long time for a new book from her, so this is very exciting. So thanks again, Lily. The next book is from the library, and it is The Uninvited by Kat Winters. It's about a girl named Ivy. She can basically see the ghosts of people's loved ones, and they usually mean that someone is going to die. She actually ends up seeing her grandmother's ghost, and after that she realizes that her father and her brother have killed a German in retaliation for her other brother's death. So she runs away and discovers this whole other glittering, snazzy, seedy world outside of what she's always known, and I think that's pretty much all I know about it. Once Was a Time by Layla Sales. I'm very excited because this is Layla's middle grade debut. It's about two girls, Charlotte and Kitty, and they basically get separated when Lot's father discovers time travel is possible, and the whole book is about how they try to make their way back to each other. Well, how Lot tries to make her way back to Kitty. Really like this cover, really think it's going to be a book that I'm going to enjoy, so can't wait for this. Thank you, Chronicle Books, and thank you, Layla. I Was Here by Gail Forman. This is the only young adult book by Gail Forman that I have not read. It's about a girl named Cody who is trying to piece together what happened to her friend Meg and why her friend would commit suicide. I am very interested to see how I'm going to feel about this. I was avoiding it last year because I was kind of like getting all these mixed reviews like in my head, and I was sure it was going to influence my reading experience. And now that that's died down a bit, I'm really excited to get to this and to see how Gail handles such a sensitive topic. Thank you, Penguin. Traitor Angels by Anne Blankman. Anne Blankman is the author of the Prisoner of Night and Fog duology, Prisoner of Night and Fog, and Conspiracy of Blood and Smoke, both of which I really enjoyed. This book is about Elizabeth Milton, John Milton's daughter, and she has been training her whole life with guns and writing and deportment, all sorts of things, and one day her father is arrested by the king's men, and she has to figure out how to save him. Thank you, HarperCollins. The next book is also from HarperCollins, and it is one I'm very excited about. It is Ivory and Bone by Julie Eschbaugh. This is a prehistoric fantasy which already makes it sound kick-ass. I have never read a fantasy novel set in prehistoric times, so that's pretty cool. It's about a boy named Cole who is, you know, just living the daily grind with his clan when a new clan comes to live in their area, and he meets a girl named Maya who he kind of starts falling for. But then another clan moves in, and it turns out that one of the girls from that clan, her name is Lo, and she and Maya happen to be like rivals of a sort, and it looks like war might be brewing among those clans. I'm very curious to see how this goes, plus Julie is such a sweetheart. I've known her because I've been reading her post on Publishing Crawl, which is a great blog, by the way. You guys should check that out. I'll leave a link to it down below. I'm very excited to read her debut. Thank you, HarperCollins, and thank you, Julie. The next 3 books I borrowed from my friend Rachel of Hello Chelly, and these are actually going to be rereads for me because I read them a long time ago before I started blogging, and it is the first 3 books of the Mortal Instruments series, City of Bones, City of Ashes, and City of Glass, all 3 by Cassandra Clare. I can't fan them out because they're kind of big, I'll try. Anyway, I am looking forward to my reread of this series because if you watch my coffee book tag video, which I will also link to, I actually talked about what I remembered about the City of Bones book, and I actually don't really remember City of Ashes or City of Glass very well. I'm looking forward to rereading it, mostly because I want to finish out the series and read the last 3, and I also want to read The Infernal Devices. And plus, I just want to see what I think of it now, because back then I liked it okay. I want to see if that has changed at all, if I like it more, if I like it less, and you guys will definitely be hearing from me once I've read it, I'm sure. I'm just looking forward to revisiting it, so thanks for lending these to me, Rachel. The next set of books, I believe these are all books I bought for myself. First, it's an edition of A Little Princess by Frances Hodgson Burnett. I actually collect editions of this book. This was not what I was expecting though. It was not this cover that I was looking at, but that's okay because I don't have this one yet, and it's fine. It is one of my all-time favorite childhood classics, and I kind of want to revisit it now that I've been thinking about it. This next one is also for collection, and it is this edition of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. It's the orange hardcover, and I really like this slipcase that it's in because of the gold, and I really like that there is an owl on the cover of this hardcover, and there's like a bookmark, like a bookmarker. I just like collecting Harry Potter editions, guys. I just do. And I'm very excited to add this to my collection. I actually first saw it on Instagram, and I fell in love with how bright it was and how cute it was, and I decided I needed to add it to my collection stat. So I ordered it on Book Depository, and it finally came. The Distance from A to Z by Natalie Blitt. Get it on Kindle for $1.99, so it's a great deal, and you should do that. When I was in Boston, we went to Brookline Booksmith, and I ended up getting 2 books there. And the first is The Circle, which is the first book in the Engelsfors trilogy, and that is by Sarah B. Elfgren and Matt Strandberg. And this is basically about 6 high school students who find themselves drawn or called by some higher power in order to be the ones to save their town. And basically it just sounds like it'll be awesome. I think it's interesting because it's one of those series that's been translated into English, so I want to see how that translates. And I also just think it's cool that, you know, it's a bunch of girls who get to kick ass and save the day. What could be cooler than that? So I'm excited to check this one out and to tell you guys what I think of it once I start. I also picked up a book called Thornjack by Catherine Harbour, and it is a Night and Nothing novel. It's basically inspired by the Ballad of Tamlin. It's about a girl named Finn and her father who move upstate after her sister's suicide. She meets this enigmatic young man named Jack, and she loves the town she's in and everything, but when, evil threatens to take everything away from her, she has to fight for Jack, and then she discovers that there may be more to his sister's death than she thought. I'm quite excited because, again, this is not one I've heard a lot about, and I think it would be great fun for me to read something that I haven't already built up an impression of in my head. And then we have 2 pre-orders that came in this month that I'm super excited to now own. The first of these is Passenger by Alexandra Bracken, which is the first in a duology that is basically time travel times historical fiction, which is awesome. This basically tells the story of a girl named Etta Spencer and a boy named Nicholas, and they meet because Etta time travels back to Nicholas's time. It's one of the most fantastic books I've read. I think Alex told her version of time travel in such an awesome way. And I really loved both Etta and Nicholas, and I think they're such great characters to read about, and I just need Wayfarer now, okay? Basically, I love this book, and you guys should get it too, because it's awesome! And the next pre-order, which I'm also very excited about, is Truthwitch by Susan Dennard, who is officially a New York Times bestselling author now, which is awesome! Truthwitch tells the story of Sophia and Isolde, who are two best friends. They both possess magic. Isolde is a thread witch, which basically means she can see all the threads that kind of bind people together. And Sophia is a truth witch, which means she can distinguish lies from truth. They are fighting to live their own lives and be free together, but then their plans change abruptly. The world building is spot on in this one. The relationships are great in this one. And aside from Sappho and Isolde, you'll also get to meet Edouan, who is a blood witch and who can scent other witches by their blood. You'll also meet, actually other people, not just other witches, other people. And you'll also meet Merrick, who is an air witch capable of controlling the wind. A lot happens in this book, actually. Sophia has to come to terms with what she's capable of doing and what she should do. And Isolde has to come to terms with her place in the world. I love this book. I love the friendship in this book. I love the story in this book. I love the world. I love the magical system. I pretty much loved everything about Truthwitch, and I definitely think that this is a fantasy book you guys don't want to miss out on, so grab it! I almost forgot. I got the Kindle book of Truthwitch for $2.99 because I bought the print copy of it, so that's exciting. And I also got the audiobook of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling. I am rereading the Harry Potter series this year, and I love it. I haven't reread it in ages, and it's just so fun to revisit. I think it's also interesting to do it via audio because I get to hear these different nuances to it, and sometimes I hear details that I totally forgot were a part of the story. And it's great. I think it's awesome. And last but not least is a gift from my husband, and that is the Complete Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis. It is this big, beautiful bound edition that contains all 7 novels. Let me see if I can remember them all. The Magician's Nephew, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, The Horse and His Boy, Prince Caspian, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, The Silver Chair, and The Last Battle. I love this series. I read it way back when. I think I was still in high school when I read it, and I loved it. The Last Battle is my favorite book of the series, in case you were wondering. And I'm just so happy to finally have a copy of it here, even though I can't necessarily, take it with me because it's so gigantic and heavy. At least I have one that I can page through here at home and read, and maybe I'll actually get around to rereading the entire thing this year. Plus, it's just so pretty. I mean, you guys, aside from this slipcover, the hardcover underneath is also the same print, which I think is awesome. And I love it. This is out of print now, this edition of it, but I found it at the Strand, and it was a lucky find, so I'm very excited. So, can't wait to read it. So I did film my haul a little early because I ended up getting a few more books in the mail, so I thought I'd just film this quick video. One of the things that I got in the mail, which I'm very excited about because I needed it for my collection, is The Mirror King by Jodi Meadows. I love Jodi Meadows. I have loved her since I read Incarnate, her debut novel. And The Mirror King is the sequel to The Orphan Queen, which came out last year. And it continues the story of Wilhelmina Corte. She is trying to regain her kingdom and to fight these magical creatures called wraiths that are threatening to take over her kingdom. Well, pretty much took over her kingdom. And, she forms this alliance with a couple of the kids of the nobility from her kingdom. She also encounters this vigilante called Black Knife. And she also infiltrates the palace and meets a guy named Prince Tobiah and his friends. So it's a little complicated. Can't tell you much because it's a sequel, but I have already read this. I love it. I love it so much. I think this duology is amazing, and I think you all should give it a shot. From Macmillan, I got 2 books, and the first is The Gilded Cage by Lucinda Gray. The Gilded Cage is about a girl named Catherine, and she and her family move from Virginia to England. Things are very different from what she's used to, and then one day her brother drowns. She doesn't think that the drowning is suicide, she thinks it was murder, and so she goes on this journey to investigate what actually happened. The Square Root of Summer by Harriet Ruder Hapgood. It's sort of timey-wimey, sort of time travel-y. This one is about a girl named Gaudi, and she is basically experiencing moments where the fabric of time is getting torn apart because she gets thrown back into different moments in her past. And I just thought that sounded so interesting. I love time travel, timey-wimey books, especially now that I am loving Doctor Who. And I can't wait to see how this one stands in like the order of things. Okay, back to my original video ending. There you have it, guys. That was my January book haul. I hope you enjoyed seeing the books I got, and if you've read any of these, tell me in the comments. If you want to read any of these, also tell me in the comments. I guess I'll see you next time. Bye!